So it's pretty obvious that video games are a huge part of my life. I've played shooters like Call of Duty or puzzle games like Tetris, and even Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 for the Dreamcast, which was an amazing game. But a lot of people will agree with me that some select games will take a bit of precedence on which games were the ones you grew up with. You know, like the parents who played on the PS1 and talk about Crash Bandicoot or Metal Gear Solid 1, or the people who still play Smash 64 today. These are the games that I'm talking about today, the games that had an impact on people's lives, and much like mine as well. So join me as I talk about my top 10 video games that I grew up with and that had an impact on my life. Greetings travelers, it's DJNace finally back on the channel, and there's something I need to go over real quick before the video begins. And this is in regards of how Twitch is going to work and how YouTube's going to work from now on. So basically, I can't go back to the house that I usually would stream and record in, so I can't stream on Twitch as much as I was prior to this week because of restriction on space. So Twitch is going to be a little bit slower, but on YouTube it's going to be a bit faster now, and you guys can expect at least 2 to 3 videos a week. I never plan what the videos will be, but at least 2 to 3 on Mondays, Tuesdays, and possibly Fridays, and I will make a video soon about it. But for now, I'm just gonna let past me get back to this, and hopefully you guys do enjoy this video. A few rules really quick. This list can consist of singular titles, entire series, and franchises. And you know, one more thing to say about it is that this is obviously just my opinion, and I would love to hear what you guys have to say about it in the comments below. But without further ado, let's journey to the number 1 spot, starting with number 10. Now, I remember when I was about 5 years old walking into the haircut shop, absolutely hating haircuts, but they always let the kids play the games and they always got to pick. They also had a Spider-Man 1 movie game, and I myself am a pretty big Spider-Man fan, so I naturally picked that game. When I was young and saw how you could swing around these buildings, oh my gosh, did my 5-year-old mind explode. Obviously, after that, there were copious amounts of Spider-Man games, after my 2 favorite being the games created by Benox, Shattered Dimensions, and Edge of Time. I've seen these Spider-Man games evolve, and playing Spider-Man PS4 makes me think, holy cow, it's come such a long way. Now, I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty of the changes, but the combat got way better in my opinion, and being able to change suits from a walk-in closet's amount of selection is very nice. I'm very excited to see where this superheroes game swing into the future, but for now, on to number 9. Now, if you remember the first kinds of fighting games, it was the same thing over and over, and there wasn't too many unique things going on, definitely not disregarding what was unique at the time. But when you would have told me as a child that Iron Man and Spider-Man could fight Ryu and Mega Man, I would be completely sold, and immediately too. I started playing this series on the Dreamcast with Marvel vs. Capcom's Clash of Superheroes, but my all-time favorite title in this series is Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. This is for 3 reasons: Dante, Zero, and Jill. The 3-on-3 combat in this title and the unique comic kind of style just hits all perfectly for me, and I always love playing against my friends, getting into situations like the last hit on both players, the fast pacing of the fights, and it's all just really amazing. And another thing about this game is that it's super easy to pick up for anybody to just pick up and play with anybody, and with a little bit of practice, anybody can ascend to new heights. Now with that out of the way, let's move on to number 8. Now, we all know that every kid, when they were too young to play those M or even T-rated games, they would find some way to play that one series, that one game, that would be calling to them, begging for them to play. In my case, it just looked so cool and I wanted to play the game, and now that game has turned into a game series, but for me, it was Devil May Cry. I know a lot of kids and people nowadays think about GTA being this game that they hide from their parents, but DMC was really the one for me, especially with Trish and all of the adult humor all over the titles. My favorite title back then was DMC 3, which shouldn't really be a shocker, and I still play it today. But the recent release, semi-recent release? Am I late to this? The semi-recent release of DMC 5, it made me kind of re-fall in love with the series again. The gameplay, the style, the graphics, which I'm trying not to bring up in this video because graphics really don't kill an experience for me, but holy damn, does this game get realistic graphics right. Nero, Virgil, Dante, V, yeah, that guy, V, that one guy. all make this cinematic finish way more amazing to play through, and I would play through it over and over, but that's enough for DMC, and let's slash our way into number 7. Okay. I know this game has a reputation for memes, and, other things. Ugh. But even though it was released in 2014, which in my opinion wasn't too long ago, but Five Nights at Freddy's created this tone and feel that struck something for me. I found it interesting and not scary. Five Nights at Freddy's was this game I would play to pass time. Then as more and more games came out, the lore expanded, the community expanded, and the games become more and more ambitious with what they did. And to this day, I still enjoy playing the games. I'm actually most likely going to stream FNAF Help Wanted for my first entire playthrough, so look out for that. Although this kind of is a crazy series, I continue to love the animatronics every time a new one appears, and I can't wait for a new game in the works this year. Something really quick is that my fave so far in the series is probably Five Nights at Freddy's 2, but I have a feeling Help Wanted might change my tune. But enough talk about bears and bunnies, why don't we just move on to number 6. Alright, now this one was really hard to place on the list because it was one of those games where I would play it all of the time back then. Like all the time, and would never get bored. Also, fun fact, I used to record Minecraft videos on a tablet when I was like 5. So if you guys want to go see those videos, make sure to leave a like, and I'll react to them for a video. Thanks for the like. Now, Minecraft is one of those games where you can always come back to it and never really get quote-unquote bored. I also recently started playing it again more and more frequently, and I was thinking about even recording Minecraft in VR for a video soon. Minecraft, when you think about it, is actually what everybody says it is. It's a way to express creativity and just to have a fun time with your friends or even by yourself. It's also one of those relaxing type of games where you can just have it either be you building a crazy building or action-packed experiences, whichever fits your mood. But anyways, things are about to get serious as we move into the top 5 games. Yeah, another fighting game. I've played every Smash that's been released from Smash 64 to Ultimate. I discovered Smash Bros. A long time ago when I went over to a friend's house and he had 64, and he utterly destroyed my Link. But after that, I proceeded to play every Smash ever, 64, Melee, Brawl, Smash 4, and now I play Ultimate almost daily. I've been taking a little week off, but I'm going to get back into it, so yay! Smash Bros. Has been able to connect me with more people, create new friends, and even make me happy when I do play the game with friends. Albeit this sounds a bit cheesy, this is what good games do to you. You find good connections, you discuss the topics with other people who enjoy or maybe want to have a friendly debate about the game or what is in the game too, unless it's, not friendly. Basically, Smash Bros. Is this high on the list due to the connections I've made and also the memories I have with the game. I remember being so excited seeing Toon Link in Brawl, and I still play him today, even though he's technically the worst Link in the game. This is because people play the characters from Nintendo, and sometimes not Nintendo series they've grown close to. Final Fantasy, Persona, Banjo-Kazooie, or even Street Fighter, all of these in one game is amazing to think about, and this is the game that somewhat fulfilled my 8-year-old brain of who would win in a fight question. I can't wait to see where the next character and fighter pass goes, but there's some people I want to see in there for sure. Sorry for Smash. Sorry for... Now imagine, you're young, you play Ratchet & Clank and Little Big Planet a lot, but you feel you're missing something from your gaming palette. Something that you feel will put you on edge, make you focus a lot harder than the simpler games that you're playing as of right now, or just something that will allow you to try something new and have it be a memorable experience. Now that's when I went to go search for, and when I discovered, the first Resident Evil. Now the first time I loaded Resident Evil, welcome to the family, son. The dog scared me, and I shut off the console. That's it. Now, Resident Evil 7 got me hyped from the start, and I'm bringing this one up because it's absolutely my favorite Resident Evil in the series, and it's been hyping me from the start, like I said, from the playable teaser, trailers, all the way up to release date when I went to go pick it up. And I actually streamed my entire playthrough on my old channel, which is now deleted because it was old and not good. So I was thinking about Twitch streaming the entire game once more, or maybe even a speedrun of it. Now this game specifically with DLC banned footage, Not a Hero, and End of Zoe created a lot of replayability and also provided for a good time. Resident Evil 7 is not the game for this spot, however, but my favorite Resident Evil, with Resident Evil 4 coming in as a close second. Resident Evil 4 followed Resident Evil 4 in terms of replayability, as you can unlock more guns, other outfits for Leon and Ashley, and can play as Ada in her story, or even other characters like Hunk and Wesker in the Mercenaries mode. Resident Evil as a series took a tumble after Resident Evil 6, but I still enjoy all the games, including Revelations and Revelations 2, Code Veronica, and other games like that. With recent announcement of Resident Evil 8 and the return of Ethan Winters, I'm absolutely hyped and cannot wait for this to release, and I do plan on recording and streaming this as well. Without out of the way, let's go to number 3. The Legend of Zelda. The Legend of freaking Zelda. That's the number 3 spot. Now, I discovered Zelda when I was about 4 to 5 years old, since I have played every Zelda game at least twice, except for Zelda 2. I can't do that again. No, never again. Not Dark Link again. Don't show that in my face. Now, Zelda can be a list of its own, actually, and if you do want to see that, like the video, and I shall make a Zelda top 10, even though I plan on already doing it. But The Legend of Zelda was an amazing discovery for me, and when I did discover it, it introduced me to puzzles, a different kind of action, and it was definitely an eye-opener for great storytelling in video games, and it was also an eye-opener for Nintendo for me. So yeah, I was a Zelda baby. I am not a Mario baby, and I don't like Mario too much. That's a sin, but one sin taken off because I still play Mario. I absolutely love to make a Zelda top 10 video, so I will be going over one game in this list, and that game is Wind Waker. Wind Waker for me was an amazing game in every aspect. People disliked it and maybe still dislike this game for the water, but like kinda that's it. All jokes aside, I actually really enjoyed traversing through the Great Sea and exploring and discovering new islands, fishing for treasures, at the same time progressing the story and strengthening the Master Sword once you find it. And the last parts of the game gave me that feeling where you feel prepared and all the stuff you've done in the game has readied you for this exact moment. Then the final Ganondorf boss. The music, the setting, the fight, all amazing. And it's no Ocarina of Time or Twilight Princess Ganondorf, but this fight is one of my favorite final bosses and Ganondorf fights in Zelda. Overall, Wind Waker is, yes, in my top 3 Zeldas, but is also one of the games that I always think about when I think about games that I grew up with, and when I think about Zelda as a word. I will definitely be making a Zelda top 10, so watch out for that. And with that, we're on to number 2. Final Fantasy. I discovered this much like Zelda at an early age, but not as early as Zelda. I thought these games were going to be a lot more innocent of a franchise than what they were, but I was kind of happy to find out that they weren't. Honestly, it was nice and new for me when I discovered it too. But my first Final Fantasy game was, funny enough, Dissidia Final Fantasy on the PSP, so I played this game only knowing who Cloud, Warrior of Light Furion, and Squall are. Dude, I didn't even know about Sephiroth. I knew Cloud and didn't know Sephiroth. How does that happen? You can't just know one and not the other. That's a sin. Put the sin back on. And Dissidia introduced me to a lot of Final Fantasy casts from all over the franchise, such as Ultimecia, Garland, and even Terra. After Dissidia, I looked for other games in the franchise out then, and throughout my childhood I ended up playing most of the Final Fantasies except for The Rhythm on the 3DS, sadly, only playing the demo, and also FF1 and 3, which I have played them now, and I enjoyed them. The only Final Fantasy that I really haven't played, like I said, is The Rhythm, but please tell me I'm spelling and saying The Rhythm right, please. I hope I am. Which I find kind of ironic because my favorite thing in any video games is the music, and Final Fantasy music does it so freaking well. The Final Fantasy VII Remake soundtrack, oh my goodness. Oh my freaking goodness. The music in that game is so amazing. But basically what I'm saying, music is everything, almost everything in a video game for me, but other than good music, I would absolutely love the amazing stories they would put together, and now that I'm older, I can finally understand the twists and turns of a Final Fantasy, The characters also create an amazing vibe, and you really feel their emotions that said characters feel. I will always ask myself, what's the next thing they're going to do in the game, or what will they do if I do such and such in the game. Overall, the Final Fantasies have created this very sentimental place in my heart and are always touching to me due to multiple factors. A few of my favorites are Type 0, 13, crazy unpopular opinion, but 13 and 15 are some of my favorites, and I know a lot of people don't like some of the titles, some, but now it's time. You've heard 10 through 2, and now's the time to reveal the number 1 spot. So let's not delay any longer and get to number 1.
May my heart be my guiding key.
Kingdom Hearts, one of the most insane, crazy, convoluted, amazing stories I've ever watched and played through. This game is 2 months older than me now, so it's kind of weird how I loved this game from the beginning, and it's very early when I discovered this, so I think it says something. 2002 and 2002, yeah, we're pretty cool. This is 2002 game up in here. That's all I'm saying. Now, I went into the series as most people do, saying, oh look, it's Donald and Goofy. Oh look, it's Mickey. Who's this guy? So I'm thinking to myself, why the heck is Donald and Goofy on this game? So I buy it. I pop it into my PS2, and my mind is absolutely destroyed. It's blown. It's blown. I'm asking myself from the beginning, who the heck is Sora? Who the heck is Riku? What the hell is this thing? And I'm sucked in. I couldn't stop. No matter how confusing it was, no matter how tedious and crazy the farming was, no matter how many times I would die to the Heartless Sora in Captain freaking Hook's room in the first game, I freaking hate that boss. I would keep playing. And I could say that I would wake up early, stay up late, just to play this game because I absolutely loved it. I beat the first one, I beat Chain of Memories, then I bought Kingdom Hearts 2, and I was in tears. I have met the one for me. This man. This man. Oh my god, this man. I'm getting this out of the way right now. Roxas is my favorite character ever in Kingdom Hearts. When Birth by Sleep came out, I thought Ven was Roxas, and we all know how that goes. Birth by Sleep, Dream Drop Distance, 350 over 2 freaking days, Recoded, Union Cross, Point 2, I played them all. Heck, I've played these games so much in my life, it's insane how many times I've beaten these titles in the series. Now, I'm not a diehard 2 Final Mix fan, but I really do enjoy that game, just letting you guys know for the next detail I'm going to go over. So I'm sitting, waiting, wondering when the next Kingdom Hearts, which would be Kingdom Hearts 3, would release, like the rest of the world was waiting. And the trailers popped up more and more. I'm screaming at the trailers, I lose my voice a couple times, repeat. I see Roxas, I scream, some tears formed, repeat. Yeah. They definitely formed. Tears were shed for Roxas. And then it got released. I got my deluxe version. I got my Toy Story pre-order fabric poster from GameStop. I had my Meow Wow plush in my hand as I popped in the freaking disc. And I loved it. I loved the smooth action. I love the forms. I love the world, the music. Oh my god, the freaking music. There was so many parts of this game where I screamed, and there was a few times where I cried in this game too. Roxas's return. But I go back to some of these games and I still tear up. These characters on some form of the word are relatable, and it connects to me and to you. The story just becomes that much more amazing when characters can be relatable. Now, my example of this is Roxas. Roxas was relatable to me for the longest time, as there was a time when I was kind of confused on what's going on and who I was and who I wanted to be and what I could do with my life. And Roxas was that person that I could look at and go, I feel this man. This is relatable. And I did. Roxas was the character that would keep me feeling okay sometimes, because he was my relatable escape from a world that I couldn't escape from. And when I popped in this PS2 disc and I saw this man on the PS2 and on my TV screen, it makes you feel okay. And it was okay because you knew you could escape, because you felt a connection to something else, and it would make you feel better or felt understood by something. And Kingdom Hearts was that escape for me. Roxas was that escape for me. And that's really the reason why Roxas is my favorite, for just being so relatable and just being an amazing person in these games, and just loving his character is just why he is my favorite character. Roxas, the entire cast, and this series have helped shape me into who I am today, in a sense, so this series will always be near and dear to my heart. And with that being said, Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory is so freaking amazing, and I can't wait any freaking longer for this game. So please, Square, release it like now. Like, I want Melody of Memory trailer tomorrow when this thing comes up. And just with that, a few more things I want to say. Sea Salt Trio is the best. You can't argue me on this. Sea Salt Trio is the best. I absolutely love this series, and I love the teams who have made all the entries possible. We don't discriminate Kingdom Hearts titles here. And Yazora wants to make me freaking die.
Sorry, but I don't lose.
Also Sora for Smash. Well, there you have it. My top 10 games that I grew up with. I spent a lot of time creating this list and thinking about some of the entries in the list, and I'm 100% satisfied and feel accomplished with this list, and I hope I can make more of these in the future. And with that, we're going to keep the outro nice and sweet. So I hope all of you did enjoy this video, and if you did, feel free to leave a like on the video and subscribe to join the journey here on YouTube with me, Stygian Ace, and I will see you guys in the next one. Travel safe.